this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. So we are here for another one of our mass making sessions, and today I thought we could make these little foldy kind of pocket pieces. Now I've been playing around with these and they're really versatile because you can get a whole bunch of different you know, ways of how you use them. So this one, for instance, it kind of flips up and you've got a pocket here, so this could go on your page like this with a, you know, top loading pocket, and then I've just glued on another pocket here. Or, you know, you can have them opening in a whole bunch of different ways. So hopefully, you know, through the making we can just have a play around and see all the different ways that you can make them. But they're really versatile, and weirdly they were inspired by, if I just pull them in, if you watched my X-Piles series, they were inspired by these ones that I made using the 12 by 12 page, and obviously I left this as a foldy flip piece and then stuck a couple of pockets on here. So all I've done kind of differently is obviously stuck this piece, this piece down like a pocket, and then decorated, you know, and put a pocket on here. So I just think they're quite a versatile thing. So I thought this week we could do those. You know, who knows, maybe another week we could actually just do the ones like this. But that's where my inspiration came from, and I just think, yeah, they're quite versatile. So I'm just going to lift my thingamajiggly up a bit, my camera, phone, you know, whatever we call it today, my camera. So hopefully it's a good enough view. And what I've brought along, I've got obviously my dry wipe, I've got my corner rounders, I've got my distress ink and things, I've got my scissors, my glue, and then I've brought in a whole bunch of different papers. Now, when I say a whole bunch of different papers, I've got my printable type papers, which are obviously on A4 paper. I'm just going to move this slightly more because I'm not sure it's quite right. Right, hopefully that's better. On A4, which is our sort of, you know, standard copy size paper, which is the, you know, 8 by 11, I think it would be in the States, the equivalent of that. And then I've also brought in a couple of 12 by 12s because I thought we could have a go at this type of thing, but gluing the pocket down. So we'll just see how we get on and, you know, go from there really. So just going to pull in the first one that I'm going to use. So I'll just pull in this one. Let me just pop the other ones to the side so they're not just on my lap at risk of dropping off. Now this is printed on, this is like 250 GSM card, so it's pretty thick and sturdy. It's quite, you know, similar to a scrapbook thickness paper. It could even be thicker than some. But I mean, if I just pull in, I've got this here floating on my desk. This is some scrapbook paper. It's pretty thick. This feels not dissimilar. So I would think they're very similar in thickness. Obviously this one, you know, scrapbooking paper is printed double-sided. I could print this double-sided. I just, you know, didn't really think to do that before coming on. But yeah, of course you can print yours double-sided. So all I'm going to do is fold it in. Now, I don't have a concrete plan of, you know, which way round I'm going to do this pocket. So I'm just going to, you know, wing and a prayer, and then we'll sort of see which way round looks better to have our flaps and folds. So all I do then is bring it in here. So you're just folding it like a, you know, into half and then half the other way. So squash those down. Again, I still haven't found my bone folder, would you believe? Yeah, I really need to just have a sort out and see whether I can find it. So then I'm just going to decide which way I would like this, you know, for me, which way do I think is the nicest way to have this. So I think for this, now if I have it like this, obviously you can see my front bit is going to be upside down. So that's maybe not the best. So I could have it that way, where then my front piece would be up the right way. Or we could have it kind of more sideways on, so that then, you know, we've got them sideways on obviously both of the pockets, if that makes sense. I mean, to be honest, I will probably decorate the front up anyway, so, you know, it probably doesn't really matter too much if it's going to be upside down. That said, oh, sorry, decisions. Right, I'll have it this way. Let's be logical and have it that way. So all I'm going to do is kind of open it back up, and then what I want to do is cut off here. So, and this will depend, where you're cutting will depend how you want your piece glued down, if that makes sense. So depending on which way round you want your pocket and which piece you're going to be having where will depend which of the 4 folded pieces that you cut off. So I've cut that one off, as you can see there, and then my foldy piece comes over here. Okay, so I haven't made a great job of cutting that. I'm just going to straighten that up a little bit, hopefully, going down there. Now, what I find, I've made obviously, you know, 1 or 2 of these before coming on. So what I've found, you want to just cut it very, very, very fractionally down from the fold, if that makes sense. I mean, like minuscule amounts, because I mean, on the whole, you're wanting it to be looking like it's the same size, but you just want to just have it slightly down so that when this folds, you know, your top layer folds over, it's not then like disturbing this piece, if you see what I mean. So that's that. I'm going to put, I think, a thumb hole in here. So I'm just going to stand up so that I can see, so I don't have to put my head right over the camera. I could do with getting one of those bigger circle punches, because then I could have like a nice big chunky thumb hole. I mean, that's pretty pathetic, isn't it? But never mind. It'll do. Whoops, sorry, that was just, I hit my lamp as I took my lid off my glue. So I'm just going to go down here and then across the bottom like that. Did I get glue there? I'm not even sure whether I did. I'll just go around it a bit more. Better to have too much than not enough. Right, let's just mop that up. So I'm just going to stick this in. Again, obviously you could sew this together. You know, I'm just using glue because, as you know, my sewing machine's not up here yet. I think I said last week, we have cleared the space, so I'm all decked out and ready. I'm just on the lookout for a desk. I've seen a desk that I would like. I'm just waiting to try and get one. It's actually out of stock in the shop where it comes from. It's not a very expensive desk. But you do often see them on like eBay and those kinds of sites. So it's just a case of finding one close by, because they're always miles away. You know, when you look on eBay, I don't know about you guys, but they're never near to where you live. And, you know, no matter where you are, they would be where you're not. Right, so that's my little pocket piece. And then obviously I have this section that's still left. So for this one, what I might do is just have another pocket running along it like that. And I'm so sorry about the traffic noise. It's really, really hot today, so I've had to have, you know, the windows open and things. So yeah, I do apologise if it's very noisy. Obviously it's during the morning, so there's lots of, you know, traffic and things like that. So but it was just so hot, I can't not have the windows open, so I'm terribly sorry if it's a bit noisy. Okay, so I'm going to just have that there. Now what I probably could do is actually put another thumb hole in here that would mimic this. What I should have done was probably done them at the same time, because then of course I might have stood a chance of having them in exactly the same place. Now I've obviously left it too late to do that, so I'm not that confident that I'm going to be able to get my thumb hole lined up with the top thumb hole. So I might not put a thumb hole. We'll see. So I'll just press this one down. Okie dokie. Like that. Okay. And of course you can cut these down and things like that. You know, you don't have to stick with them at the size, because that's another thing I did forget to mention actually. This one here, oh no, not that one. The other ones that I have made, I did cut them down slightly, because if you wanted to have this glued onto your page, obviously it's going to be the exact width of your folded page. if you see what I mean. So that would be too tight really to fit onto the page. So the other ones that I made, I did trim them before gluing them, and I forgot to mention that. This one, obviously, because I've now left that too late to do that, I would just then paperclip this in as a little sort of, you know, floating piece. But yeah, you might want to bear that in mind, unless of course you're going to do them that way up, and then of course that's fine because they will fit onto your page. So that's all there is to them. They're super fun, super easy, and you know, I think they're quite nice, different type of piece, and it gives you lots of different, you know, you've got journaling space here, a pocket here, a pocket here. So, you know, and depending, obviously, if I had trimmed this down, if I glued this onto a page, you could have had another pocket or a tuck spot or, you know, downloading pocket, however you wanted. So I think they're quite a sort of versatile, nice piece. So I'll just pop that to one side and pull in some more paper, and we'll just, you know, get making them. Just get making them. So this is one that I have not cut, sorry, printed borderless. So I'm just going to cut this down a bit on the borders. I might have to stop the camera actually and have some water. Sorry about that. So I just had a horrible frog in my throat, and my throat just suddenly felt really dry. It's probably because obviously it's so hot today, but I mean, pathetic, really pathetic. Can't cope with any sort of weather. You know, I'm moaning when it's cold, I'm moaning when it's hot. And yeah, but the weekend, I mean, it was really hot, and I think it's, you know, the same today, to be honest. But on Saturday, we came back. Well, I'll tell you in a moment about our few days. So, but we drove back from the beach and everything. It was 33 degrees. So it was very, 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 very hot. I mean, we very rarely get temperatures like that in the UK. So that was stifling, stifling hot. And it's airless. You know, those days where there's just no breeze, it's a bit like that. I mean, the beach was definitely the best place to be, but gosh, it was still very, very hot even on the beach. So, yeah, we went away again in our tent again. So that's the second time in a couple of weeks. We have now bought a new tent because our other tent, it was okay, but obviously we bought it several years ago, and now our family is bigger, more in size, if you see what I mean, because the boys are now, you know, when we bought it a few years ago, they were quite small boys, and I mean now they're both taller than I am. So, you know, we needed something a little bit bigger to sort of fit us all in, really. I mean, not that we didn't fit in. We did, but yeah, I mean, it was just, it's quite squashy. So we've bought a new tent, and I mean, obviously that's going to be our holiday, you know, this year, because of course, you know, with the situation as it is, no one's really going to be going on holiday, or certainly we're not. So we've bought a new tent, and it's much better because it's much bigger. It's got better headroom and things like that, because our other one, you could stand up, but only really in the center, and you know, that's only because we're quite short. If you were a tall, if you were a tall, yeah, if you were a taller person, you would not be able to stand up in it. So anyway, so we've got a new tent, so that was really great, and we bought that the week before, you know, in readiness, and then we couldn't get booked in to our local campsite because, of course, you know, of course everyone's got the same thing in mind of going camping, because, you know, there's no other sort of holidays. So just to kind of give you a bit of a sort of different version, I guess, you could have them like this now. You know, you can just mix them up and sort of do them as you want. So perhaps I'll have this one, in fact, that's the same, isn't it? Hang on. If I put that in there, yeah, that just makes it the same as the one we made. So scrap that, forget that. I'm just about to do the exact same and then call it different. So, right, and now I've trimmed this down. So I'm going to have to do this the same as the last one. So sorry about that. We'll do the next one different. Yeah, anyway, so we couldn't get booked in the week before, but we went down, well, we didn't go down. My husband went down on on Thursday. So we went to the same campsite, which, you know, again is just that campsite that's like 8 miles from our house. It's near where my parents live and near where both of my boys work at the weekends. So my oldest son, obviously he just works at weekends there because he's got his apprenticeship, but my younger son, he's just started working there, so he got an extra shift on Thursday, which was quite nice. So on Thursday he needed to be there for 9 o'clock, so my husband went at 9 o'clock to, well, you know, 8:30 to take my son to work, and he obviously took our tent and everything else, and there was already a massive queue to get into the campsite because they were obviously fully booked. You know, like the day before they had been fully booked on their electric pitches. Obviously we didn't need one with electric. But yeah, so within a couple of hours they were fully booked again. So it was actually luckily, you know, that he did that. And then my daughter and I obviously kind of spent the morning again doing emails and things like that. And then we obviously drove down there and kind of joined a bit later on. But anyway, we stayed there for 2 nights. So we stayed there on Thursday night and Friday night, it must have been. And we just spent the 2 days kind of at the beach and things. Oh, it was so hot, so hot. But we had the loveliest time. I mean, I know I talk about the beach all the time, but we're really lucky. We are, you know, we happen to live, like I say, really close. Sorry, that was a really loud either lorry or bus. We're really lucky because we happen to live near an absolutely gorgeous beach. So yeah, now I'm going to trim this down actually at this edge to make it smaller, so you could then put this onto a page. So then I'm going to have to obviously re-glue it. Should have again thought of that, but I'm obviously now waffling on. I'm not really paying much attention to what I'm doing. Yeah, and in the evening, because it was such a lovely evening, and you know, in the UK, even if we get hot days, we don't that often get hot evenings. It's often quite chilly then by the evening. So, you know, to get a hot evening is unusual, although it seems to have been hot for several evenings on the trot now. But so in the evening we went back down the beach and we did this gorgeous walk all sort of round, you know, round the beach, and it was really busy. I mean, when I say really busy, of course people were sort of socially distancing just by the fact that it's a massive beach. There was no need to go near to people, but you know, there were lots of people there with boats and things like that, and you know, because it's quite near a sort of sailing spot, so I guess they'd sailed over from wherever they sail from, and so there were lots of people with their boats, and you know, lots of people having barbecues and all sorts of things, and all the sand dunes were kind of there on the beach, you know, because obviously that's tidal, so you know, they're not always there, if you see what I mean. Oh, it was just absolutely lovely. We were there for a couple of hours doing the walk because we were just sauntering around, not because it was a long, you know, long walk or anything, but we were just sauntering about and yeah, having a really nice walk. I'm just going to run a bit of extra glue. So that was absolutely lovely, and my sister and my mum joined us for the walk because, you know, they just live obviously right there. And then the next night, so on the Friday night, my mum and both my sisters and my dad also joined for the walk. So we did the same, you know, the same walk both nights. Oh, it was just absolutely lovely. So, you know, we properly felt like we were on holiday, you know, even though we're just like down the road from our house really. But it had that lovely feeling of being on holiday. Now what I might do is pop this in here and try and punch these at the same time, so that hopefully I've got a bit more chance of getting the thumb holes in the right or the same places. So yeah, we felt really like spoilt, like we were on holiday. So we had a really, really lovely time. And then obviously we came back on sort of late Saturday afternoon to obviously loads of washing and what have you, but yeah, we had a nice time. So we're going to try and do that, you know, as much as we can whilst the weather's nice in our tent, because you know, of course, if we're not having a holiday this year, then at least you feel like you've done something and got away, really. Okay. But my gosh, I mean, this must be like the loveliest summer ever for us here in the UK, because like I say, I mean, we don't normally get just endless week upon week of sunshine, and we just seem to have had weeks and weeks of lovely weather. So my gosh, we have been so lucky. Right, I'm just going to trim that down. I mean, we're still very much learning when it comes to camping, so you know, we do spend a lot of our time sort of looking at other people's camping setups and saying, oh, look at their, you know, I don't know, lots of people have fairy lights and things like that, for instance, around their tents and things, and they look really homey and really nice, you know, so we're like, oh, look at their fairy lights, you know, must get some fairy lights. Or this time I noticed there were several people who had obviously like fairy lights and all that kind of stuff all around their tent, and then they also had like fire pits, smallish ones that would be more portable, I guess. And they had these roaring fires, you know, just, oh, looked lovely. You know, they looked like they were at some sort of Greek taverna or something, you know, sat outside. It was really, really nice. So, yeah, we still kind of are learning when it comes to camping. You know, we were just sat there with our rubbishy camping lantern, which is very, it's not a soft, nice light. It's quite a horrible light. So we can still do a lot more to improve our camping experience, but we get in there. So, you know, and it's all good fun. So there's my next one. And of course you can round your corners for a different look as well. And we'll just round the bottom ones too. Oops, I didn't think that was going to go through all that. It did. Oops, I don't think it wants to go through this side for some reason. Don't know why that side would be thicker, but it didn't want to go through that side. So then yesterday, the boys were working, so they obviously, you know, went into work, which was another reason why we didn't stay on Saturday night camping, because they obviously didn't really want to camp and then go to work the next day. So we went back down again, you know, to that strip of, you know, that same strip of beach where we had been camping. We drove back down there again, with a view to going to the beach again. And, oh, on the way, I suddenly got, for those people who get migraines, and I know that loads and loads of people do, so, I really do empathise with you. It's just horrible, isn't it? So, yeah, I suddenly got that horrible thing in my eye. I don't know whether, well, I don't think every single person gets that, because I know that, you know, people's experiences seem to be different when it comes to migraines, but I always get this horrible thing in the corner of my eye, and it just kind of travels across my eye, and then, I mean, you can literally almost feel like this kind of wiggly line moving across your forehead. It's just horrible. Well, yesterday, strangely, I got, it was more like windmill sails, that kind of you know, whirring patterny thing in my left eye. Oh, it was just horrible. So we were literally on our way driving in the car, and we got right near, we always park at my mum and dad's house and bike to the beach that we like. They've got a beach at the end of their road, but we always go to a different one that's further, you know, a couple of miles from their house. So we normally park there. So as we were approaching their house, I said to my husband, oh, I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to go to the beach with you, because I've got a migraine coming. It's just really, you know, I can't really see anything now, because those little things that you get in the corner of your eye, they kind of like distort your whole vision. So, I mean, certainly I wouldn't be able to bike there, because I couldn't really see enough to be able to actually bike, if you see what I mean. And then obviously what happens normally with me, and I'm not saying this happens with everyone, but what happens with me normally is that that goes and then the headache starts. So there's normally about 15 minutes, I think, between that going and then getting a headache. So I kind of felt very aware. So what I'm going to do is just, open this out so that I have the flap folding in. I'm going to now fold it in this way, which I probably should have done that in the first place. And then I've got that flap that's going to fold. In fact, I'll have it this way because then I've got that nice pattern on there. So what I'm going to do is cut this one down. So I'm going to cut this along here. Oh, actually, I'll cut it along here, I think. Have to be careful that I'm not now cutting the wrong way off because I'm busy talking, not really focusing. Let me check that I'm doing this right. So I want that in, so I just need to cut this piece off. Yeah, so I normally get about 15 minutes where I have like what I call my emergency time to get into a pitch black room between the line going from my eye and then the headache kicking in. So I mean, I am really lucky because I have not had one for years and years and years. Like, I mean, years, probably, I couldn't even tell you, maybe like 8 years or something. I don't know. I can't remember the last time I did have one. So I don't know whether it's because it's so hot and maybe I was a bit dehydrated because, of course, when we were camping, I wasn't drinking so much and things, because I didn't want to have to keep going to the toilet and things like that. So, I'm not sure whether that's why I got one yesterday, but oh, it was so annoying. I was so gutted because obviously I was really looking forward to getting on my bike and having that fresh air kind of whizzing past where it was so hot. And yeah, so I mean, obviously I said to my husband, well, you go to the beach and I will just kind of like, stay at my mum and dad's house. So my mum and dad were going out, so I just like laid in their living room for a couple of hours, and then thankfully I felt okay. Obviously I kind of had a bit of a sleep. I mean, that's all that you can do really with a migraine, is just literally lay in a sort of pitch black room and wait for it to pass. It's just so horrible. I mean, as soon as I know I'm getting one, I try and take some tablets, just some painkillers that hopefully kind of helps a bit as well. But I mean, they're just horrible. Anyway, it was fine. It's, touch wood, it's gone. It's okay. But yeah, so that was a bit of a shame because it obviously spoilt yesterday going to the beach. But it's not a problem because we've been there a lot recently. So actually, it probably did me a bit of good to give it a breather for a day. Just annoying. I mean, I'm sure loads of you get migraines because they're very common actually, aren't they? But they're very horrible, aren't they? They're quite debilitating. You really can't do much when you've got one. And I don't know about you guys, but I always feel slightly vulnerable for the next couple of days, or the next, say, 36 hours after I've had one, that if I'm not careful, if I just ate the wrong thing, or, I don't know, looked at some bright flashing lights or something like that, that it would come back. It leaves you with that feeling. I don't know whether it would, or whether I just feel like it would, but it's a weird thing. Okay, so that one, you see, that opens that way and my pocket's here. So again, I'm just going to put my little thumb hole in there. So again, let me just stand up so that I can see what I'm doing here. There we go. Just pop that in the side. I'm really only putting the thumb holes in because obviously, this is quite close to the fold, if you see what I mean. So it's going to make it quite hard to get your things in and out. If you've got the thumb hole, it just gives a little bit more room to be able to like dig in and get your pieces. So, it's worth kind of doing, I think. So that's that one. And then again, can just have a little pocket. So I'm just going to make just a little pocket here. So they're quite a nice piece as well, because you're left with very few scraps. You really can sort of pretty much use everything from that piece of paper, which, that's quite good, isn't it? So I'll put that there, I think, and then chop it down. again, I should have done that trick with the thumb hole, but I didn't really think in time, so there we go. And I think I said it a few weeks ago, but what I'm trying to do is do my videos on like Mondays and Tuesdays, so that I'm then a bit freed up, you know. It was really because when my daughter was back at school just the 2 days a week, it started then. Obviously she's at home now because it's the school holidays, but so I'm trying to do that during the school holidays, and you know, then I can do other things during the rest of the week. So last Tuesday I was really lucky because she actually went out with my sister and her little boy and things, and my mum and dad for the whole day. They did invite me to go, but I said I really had a lot of things to do, to be honest. So I thought my time was better spent, you know, catching up and doing some things. So I spent the whole day replying to comments, and I spent 12 hours. It was 12 hours in total. I did have a break, obviously, in between. But I started really early in the morning. I had about 3 hours in the middle, you know, where I had to go and get my son from work and things like that. And then I went back to it, and I didn't finish till it was something like 10 to 9, I think, at night, or 10 to 10 at night, or I don't know. It was a really long time. So, yeah. So, touch wood, I'm actually up to date on my comments, which, wow, I'm not sure that's ever happened, to be honest. So I'm feeling like really proud of myself that I'm up to date. This time I'm going to fold it in this way round, because that would probably make more sense if I'm going to do one of those side opening ones, like that, because then I won't have to like refold it. So yeah, again, that hadn't really occurred to me, obviously, with the first one. So I'm just going to then fold that over here, like that. So I'm trying my very best to stay up to date now with my comments, but I have to say it's typical, because obviously when you go like to the campsite and things, you know, it's dependent upon can I manage to recharge my iPad and all those kinds of things. So I suspect that, you know, I will probably be running behind again very quickly, but I'm, you know, I'm making a conscious effort and trying my best to get a little bit better. Right, I'm going to have it that way around. So I'm going to cut this flap off now. So again, just open it here. So I hope everyone else is having a really good week. I mean, if you're in the UK, wow, how hot do you feel? I know, just pathetic. Just pathetic. Because I know that, you know, that's really not probably that hot to a lot of countries, but I mean, to us it's really hot. And of course we're not geared up for it here. We don't have really air conditioning and things. I mean, we have it in cars, you know, I guess not in older cars, but most cars have air conditioning now. So that's quite good. But I mean, we don't have it in houses or anything like that. So I mean, the houses get really airless and really stifling. But yeah, pathetic. Because I know that obviously lots of countries it gets way hotter than that. Okay, drop that down. My son's run out of shorts now. Because obviously, again, you know, the lockdown happened, so didn't kind of get him any clothes or anything, you know, because normally you'd kind of check at the beginning of the summer and have to buy things, wouldn't you? But he's now sort of bursting out of all of his clothes. So he's down to one pair of shorts. And he had one pair of flip-flops, which he had from last year. And they've now broken. So this afternoon, you know, I said I'll aim to finish by about 2:30. And we're going to go and just buy him some new summer stuff. Like, you know, a couple more pairs of shorts and hopefully a couple more flip-flops and things. Probably just in time for the weather to change and deteriorate again, to be honest, but hopefully not. But yeah, he could just do with a few more things. He could probably do with some more swim shorts and things like that as well. Right, now just deciding which other, I could have another pocket like that, I think, in this one. So actually, just thought I'm going to have my thumb hole. Oh, is that going to be problematic? Perhaps I should have it that way. Yeah, perhaps I'll just put it that way up. So again, let's just put the thumb hole in, and I won't forget about it. There we go. Okay. There we go. Just put that on there. Okay. Yeah, so it's probably about 11 o'clock now, I think. So I will try and just do some back-to-back videos for a couple of hours, and then, yeah, I'll take him. Obviously, my daughter will come as well. No doubt she'll be asking for things around the shop, but I'm going to try and avoid buying her anything, because obviously we bought her a whole ton of clothes at the beginning, and, you know, when the weather first got hot, I ordered some stuff online for her because she had grown out of everything. So I'm going to do my best to try not to get her anything, but she is at that stage where every time that you go in a shop, she's, can I have this, can I have that, can I have the other? And of course, girls' clothes are so lovely, kind of hard to resist sometimes, but yeah, I'm going to try my best to resist. But yeah, hopefully we won't be too long, because gosh, that's the last thing I feel like doing, is wandering around the shop in the hot weather. You know, that's just horrible thought, isn't it? Okay, I've got a couple of other brighter pieces here actually. So I've got this one, and this is from my Highgate Park background pages. So I printed off a couple of pieces because I thought they're just really nice colours, aren't they? So actually I might do it in this one, I think. And again, let me just work out. Probably again I want it a foldy in, or do I want it a foldy down? Well, perhaps I'll have this one a foldy down again. So again, just fold that over like that. Whew. Yeah, it's hot, hot, hot. Oh, I made the most lovely dinner last night. Because again, where we've been obviously camping, I can't say as our meals have obviously been particularly healthy. One of the nights they had fish and chips. I didn't, but they all had fish and chips. And you know, yeah, lots of crisps going on and things like that. I mean, again, I didn't eat the crisps, but yes, just aware that obviously food has not been very healthy, obviously, for a few days. So when we got back yesterday, you know, and as well, I'd obviously had my migraine and things. So I just wanted something cold and refreshing and nice, you know, and very healthy for dinner. So I had seen this recipe actually on YouTube of this big, huge rainbow salad that this lady just does like a couple of times a week, and she just puts it in a massive Tupperware pot kind of thing, or Tupperware tub, you know. And then just makes, you know, digs it out with a couple of serving spoons and chucks it in a bowl with a nice homemade dressing, and that's her dinner. So I just made one of those, and I put all sorts of really lovely colourful vegetables. So I put peppers, cucumber, what else? Oh, broccoli, you know, raw broccoli, red cabbage. The tomatoes, they were just cherry tomatoes. They weren't like big ones that were going to be, you know, leaking everywhere kind of thing. They were just cherry tomatoes. What was the other stuff I put in? Oh, some spring onion, not too much, but just a little bit of spring onion. And then, what was the other stuff? Oh, some frozen sweet corn, which I saw her, you know, she used in hers. And I thought, oh, good idea. So I put some frozen sweet corn in. and what was the other thing? Oh, the red cabbage. Did I say red cabbage already? Not sure, but anyway, red cabbage chopped up sort of, you know, into smallish chunks, and obviously it was raw. So it was a really crunchy, lovely salad. And then I followed her dressing, more or less. I didn't have everything she had to put in the dressing actually, but, you know, made it with like tahini and some garlic powder and some lemon juice and a bit of dates and things like that. And what else did I put in it? That might have been it. Lemon juice, I can't remember. But yeah, I mean, that was probably pretty much it, to be honest. But oh, it just made such a delicious salad. So I had that for my dinner, and I felt obviously, you know, really good for having something really nice and cold and refreshing. It was just what the doctor ordered because I felt, you know, felt so hot. And my oldest son was still at work because he does quite a long shift. So he was still at work, but my younger son, he finishes a bit earlier, so he was home. So obviously for my, you know, my husband, my son and my daughter, I just made them some pasta, some whole grain pasta with just some pesto. And then I just chucked the, you know, that lovely big raw salad. I just chucked some of that on the top with the dressing, and then some chopped walnuts over the top of both their salad and my salad. Oh, it was so scrumptious. I mean, actually, they said that theirs was absolutely lovely as well, and it went really well with the pasta, which, of course, it could have gone either way, couldn't it? It didn't necessarily, wasn't necessarily going to go, but yeah, they said that it went really nicely with the pasta. But oh, it was just the most scrumptious salad. I never buy that red cabbage, funnily enough. You know, I never have probably bought that ever before. I mean, obviously, I've had it. You know, sometimes when you're out and you buy a salad, it has red cabbage in, doesn't it? But I've never actually bought it myself. And oh, it was just delicious in that salad because it was really crunchy. And of course, you know, it's not like it's got a horrible flavour or anything like that. But for a start, it was really crunchy. And also, obviously, it's got that beautiful purple colour. So it looked absolutely lovely in the salad, you know, because that was the most colourful, vibrant thing in the salad. I mean, the whole salad was pretty colourful, but that was really, you know, stand out a mile colour. So yeah, it was a really lovely salad. And obviously I've still got loads left because I followed her, you know, thing of make a massive Tupperware full of it, and then you can just grab bowls full for meals, you know, quick meals. So I should be having that again for my dinner tonight. I don't know what everyone else will be having, but maybe I'll just do them something like, you know, I don't know, something in wraps or something like that, and then chuck some of that salad into their wraps or something. But it was very, very, very lovely. So I'd highly recommend that if anyone's like looking for just something refreshing and cool and nice on this, you know, during the hot weather. Right, so that's that one. I think I might need to pop a little bit more glue on this corner edge there. Oops. There we go. Okie dokie, so that's that one. Now, how long have I been filming for? I stopped it to have a drink, didn't I? So, right, I've probably got time to make one more, and then it's probably time to decorate one. So let's pull in, shall we pull in one of my Victorian florals? You know what I didn't do? I didn't make any with the 12 for 12 paper, so should we try one of those? So I'll just cut the top edge off, you know, where it's attached in the packs. Now this has been coffee dyed. I couldn't tell you, I'm afraid, what pack it came from. I'd had it for a really, really, really long time in my stash. So yeah, it was quite good to actually use it now. Which way round do I want this? Probably like this, I think. So let's just fold that in, and then Just deciding for definite which way I'm going to actually want to have this. I'm not sure. I could, I guess, just fold it in like this really, and then see how methods change as you make things a few times. You think, oh, actually this maybe would be a more logical method. So I mean, it's doing the same thing, but I guess you haven't got that bulk then. So if I want this with a foldy over, I think I like this side actually better than this side. No, it's hard to say actually. I like them both. Right, so I just need to decide. Okay, I'm going to cut this. Should I cut that flap off, or shall I use this flap actually? So again, just cut this down. And then cut it along here. Okay. Oh, it was so interesting to hear, by the way, about the drive-ins in America, because I know that I talked about the drive-in last week and said, you know, that I think we think it's like Greece and you're all at the drive-in theatres all the time. And it was so interesting to hear that actually, you know, a lot of you said that, you know, your drive-in theatres, they're gone now and they've closed down. And that's so sad, isn't it? I mean, it did make me chuckle because I thought, wow, that's how behind the times we are. Yours have closed down as we're just getting them, but I mean, obviously we've only got them now because of the pandemic, you know, otherwise we no doubt wouldn't be getting them either. But yeah, it's so sad, isn't it? Okay. Right, so I'll pop that on there. But I'm just going to, again, just trim this down slightly at the edge. So as it would fit on a page if I want to glue one in, you know, if I want to glue it in. Sorry, another really loud either bus or lorry there. I mean, obviously, you know, it's normally fine because the window's closed, but yeah, they are a little bit on the loud side when the window's open, so sorry about that. Hopefully this is not looking too terrible. Okay, so I'm just going to glue that on there. Oops. That must be next door's children, I think. It sounds really loud. Don't often hear children next door, but it sounds, obviously, you know, it sounds like it's in our garden. It's like, oh, that's a strange, because I'm not used to hearing that. Right, you know what I forgot? I haven't glued this pocket in, so I'll have to do that now. See, I just got waylaid there talking about the drive-ins and then just forgot all about what I was doing, so let's just glue those down like that. Okay, right, glue that. Okay, so there's your 12 by 12 one. Now this one really, I think I should hold out and buy a new circle punch, because I feel like that little tiny punch is just going to look so lost on there. It's going to just actually look really strange. So I'm not going to punch the thumb hole in that. I will wait and, you know, get a new circle punch and do that then, I think. So, but it works exactly the same. You've got your pocket there. Might need a little touch more glue just there. And then obviously I've got the pocket here. So that's those. Now, don't think I've done very well again. I mean, last week, gosh, 4. I could really hardly hardly worthy of the term mass making, was it? But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 we've done. So I'm just going to
right then.
So we've got our 6 here. So we will just decorate one up to kind of give you some ideas there of how to decorate. And what I've brought along to maybe use for decorating today, if I can now find it in my pile of stuff, because it's now got mixed in with the other papers. I got these lovely doilies from Daisy's Doillies. That's the shop, Daisy's Doillies on Etsy. And she has a whole massive selection of doilies. These are just a couple that I have printed off. I've printed them, this is actually slightly thicker than regular copy paper. It's about 102, I think it's 102, weird number I know, 102 GSM. So they're slightly thicker than your normal copy paper thickness. But she just has got all these different gorgeous doily patterns. Aren't they just lovely? So Luann, her name is, well, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. My pronunciation is shocking, so I apologise if I've not pronounced that correctly. So I thought that I would bring some along, and these would be a nice way to decorate these. So I'm going to take this one, I think, which is really pretty. Now, I mean, actually, I think this would go on literally every single page that I've done. I can't really see one that I think it wouldn't go with. I think it would look good. I think it would look good on all of them. Now, should I break up one of the neutrally ones? I'm not going to do this one because obviously I'm wanting to buy that thumb hole punch, but I'm going to tear this out in the first instance. Now, I'm just deciding how to tear it, whether to a bit fussy tear it, you know, vaguely resembling the shape of the flower. I seriously am meaning vaguely. I'm not meaning fussy tear it, you know, in the shape. But I just meant, you know, rather than in a circle. So I'm just going to tear around that. Okie dokie. So how pretty is that? Lovely. So I'm thinking, yeah, I mean, to be honest, it looks nice on everything, doesn't it? So now, or shall we do like, oh, that's really nice. That's really nice on that neutral one, isn't it? Yeah, I might have to go for it on there, I think. That's really lovely. Now I wonder whether I could mix it in with another one. I mean, they're very pretty embroidery patterns, aren't they? So let's try a little tiny one. Okie dokie. So perhaps we could have that, quite like that, sort of a bit sideways on, I think. Maybe up there. And I'm thinking maybe we could put like a dictionary definition or something like that on. Let's just bring some of these in. Got Bloom, that's quite a good one. Let's just have a look. I've also got some of my ephemera extra pieces, which perhaps they could be kind of good on there. Let me just cut this out, because of course this is not been cut out properly. I've just sort of roughly, you know, roughly cut it. Okay. That's quite nice, isn't it? Let me just stand up and look down. Now this I think is shrunken down, so let me just see if I've got some of the bigger ones, because I think it would probably look better with a bigger one. Oh, yeah. So let's try that. That's better, isn't it? So I'm just going to, I think, glue that down. I mean, actually, I've glued this down completely, but of course could have glued this down as a pocket as well. So, you know, could have had another pocket. Just didn't really think of that in time. Okay. Then we're going to have this here. Now, of course, we will want some lace somewhere, so just thinking which lace do I have? Now I've got a little tiny scrap of red. No, that's not right. Now I've got some dark blue somewhere. Whether I've got it here, I mean, I do know where I've got some, but I just meant to save me, you know, switching the camera off and going and getting it. I just wondered whether I had some here beside me. No, I don't think I have. That's annoying. Right, let me just have a look and see if I've got any in my drawer behind me where I've put them onto the spools now. Got some. It might not be the right colour blue. Oh, it might not be too bad actually. Oh, it's not quite right, is it? No. No, I'm not loving that. I've got some other blue that's really bright, but I will have to stop the camera and go and get it, I think. But just before I do, I'm just going to check whether it would look good with white. So let me just bring in some white lace, because, you know, maybe it actually would sort of look better just with keeping it more bright and light. Let's have a look. Right, I'm going to have to go and get the blue because I can't now stop thinking about it. Right, I've got the blue now. I'm so sorry. You know when you've got something in your mind and it just, I couldn't then put it to one side and sort of forget it. Right, so I quite like that, and actually I quite like it with the doubled up with the white and the blue. So let's glue this on. Yeah, these are really lovely embroideries, so thank you so much, Luann. So she gifted me these, and I had a whale of a time looking around her shop. So she just has a huge selection of gorgeous, gorgeous pieces. And when I was coming along to do this project, I thought, wow, these would be perfect, I think, on, you know, on these little booklets. And yeah, I think they go really nicely, don't they? I mean, I didn't really have a picture in my mind of what they would, you know, which ones I'd be using or anything like that, but these look really good. So let's just pop this one down. So there, like that. So I'm just going to chop that off. Hello, gorgeous.
Remember the thing with the Oreo and
I'm just doing a video at the moment. So my daughter, I think I said last week, and thank you so much to those couple of people who've given me jokes to tell her, so we did have a laugh. Yeah, she's obviously still got the devil in her and is thinking things are very funny. So today, her funny thing on YouTube, when she's watching YouTube, she's obviously picking up these ideas. So today, her latest idea was, I bought some Oreo kind of biscuits yesterday when I did our, you know, our food shopping, and she said to me, "Oh, Mummy, don't tell Daddy this, but the first biscuit in the packet," she said, "I've taken it out and I've put toothpaste in instead of cream." So she said, when I get them out, I'm going to say, "Oh, Daddy, you have the first one."
But then he didn't even eat it.
Oh.
But then when I went, Daddy said when I went in the garden, one tasted minty. Did you put a mint in there? And I was like, no. And then I said, I pranked you. I put toothpaste in it. And I was like,
You said I pranked you. I put toothpaste in it. What did he say?
it was a prank.
So sorry about those sirens. Gosh.
Well,
Did he laugh?
He was just laughing.
Did he say, "Oh, thank goodness I did not eat that one, because that would be vile"?
But he did eat it. He did eat it.
Oh, he actually ate the mint one. I thought you meant the other one, like the one next to it. He did actually eat the mint one.
And he
Yuck.
said he was
How
eventually gonna
gross.
throw up.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I even ate it when it was bedtime. I got an Oreo and I ate it. It was disgusting.
Yes, well, it sounds pretty disgusting, to be honest, but oh well, thank goodness I don't eat those things, because otherwise I could be being pranked, who knows.
Mum,
You're better off just not eating any of that stuff in this house, obviously. It's a bit of a danger zone.
Or like, remember those white ones with the little like square kind of thing, triangle?
No.
You know the one with the words and the triangle on it?
No. Biscuits?
Yeah, those the square ones.
No. I don't know what ones
the-
those are. Oh, you mean custard creams?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might do that next time today. 'Cause you know,
Lucky
like,
daddy,
because
huh?
the cream, it kind of looks white, so I'll just add a little bit of that, and then it will be.
Wow, well it just sounds really horrible, doesn't it? And yeah, just thinking,
It is horrible.
thank
I'm
goodness.
tasting it.
Why would you taste it?
Oh, but-
Actually knowing that that's in there.
oh, I just wanted to, really.
Right, I don't know whether that's a bit much, so I'm just going to, I think, put this one on. So we'll just stick this one on here. Now, I've not inked any of this up. I've left it all kind of bright and cheery with the white backgrounds. I don't know whether at a later date I would go back and ink these up. I'm not sure. But at the moment, I'm thinking it looks really pretty with the whites, you know, and just the nice colours. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it like that. But so gorgeous, isn't it? And then on the inside again, I mean, I haven't again inked up the inside either, which, you know, I'm not sure now, because obviously I don't mind this not being inked or any of this, but I'm not so sure about the inside being glaringly white. But again, I might ink that up at a later date. But here's some flowers that again actually are the same as those ones on the front, but they're just smaller. So I'll just take those out. Okay, I think we'll have something maybe down there, or maybe just there or something. And then should we have a bit more blue lace?
Oh, I'm talking about blue. I've got a blue pen right now.
Yeah. My daughter's obviously, she's just obviously got this wicked sense of humour at the moment. So, yep. Bit of a tip there, just, you know, no one must ever have anything that she offers you to eat, because who knows what she's done to that. Not very good. Not very good at all. So I'm just having a look now to see how to finish this off. I've got this, which, again, these are some more of my numbers, which actually that looks quite nice there. So I might just have that, I think. Do I want that, or do I like this one? Oh, perhaps I'll have that one, I think. Otherwise, maybe it was a bit too samey. Let me just check that I don't want that. That does go quite well. I think I've got some smaller ones of those torn up in my little pot here, but I'll just have a rummage through, see if I can spot them quickly. No, I can't see them very quickly. Got that one that's got some blue. Well, I guess I could have that there, couldn't I? Let's just do that. So I'll just put that one up there. Oh, I love you, gorgeous. You gorgeous girl. Hmm? Get a balloon and do something. Oh, now we're back on the pranking, obviously.
Get a balloon, fill it up with water and put it in a bowl, and then put ink, and then put frosting on it with sprinkles, and then you'll pop it in water.
Yes, like a water bomb. I don't know whether you could hear that, but she's now saying about filling up a balloon with water and pranking people with that. So yeah, clearly she's got up with the devil in her today. So it's not good. She's obviously just up to mischief today, aren't you? Up to mischief. Now I'm just going to cut this through here like that, because I might just have it just there, to be honest, or even just here. No, I'm going to have it here. So I'll just glue that down. Okay. Right, there we go. So, oops, I'm now putting the wrong lid on the glue. There we go. Oh, gorgeous. Yeah, I love how that looks. Really, 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 really pretty. So that's those. I hope you like them. I mean, obviously then you could make some little matching journal cards and things like that to go in them. They're just, you know, super versatile and really, really nice, I think. So obviously enhanced further with those gorgeous doily pieces from Daisy's Doilies shop on Etsy. And I will try and remember to put the link again if I don't remember, because I am just shockingly rubbish with things like that. Please just nudge me and I will just obviously give you the link. So yeah, I hope that you like the little booklets and managed to make some. And yeah, hope you all have a fantastic day and hopefully join me again tomorrow. Thanks very much then. Bye.